quite apart from the adrenaline rush, which I think anybody who comes and watches the sport will find evident, it really bonds the horse and rider combination.
Well, eventing is actually a triathlon for horse and rider, where combinations compete in 3 different disciplines. The first is dressage, then it's cross country, and then it's show jumping. So in the first discipline, dressage, what we're looking for is to test the obedience, the flexibility and the strength of the horse, and the skill of the rider. In the second phase, which is cross country, we're testing the bravery, the speed and the stamina of the horse to go across undulating ground and over fixed fences. The rider is expected to help the horse maintain balance and maintain a good rhythm and keep their eye in. They also have to be very brave to jump these fences as well. The last phase is the show jumping phase, which really tests the accuracy and again the obedience of the horse. But it'll also test their stamina, as they've been competing for 2 days, with the day before having done the cross country test. These horses will be tired by now, and it tests their ability to keep going. The same goes for the rider in this case. Why is eventing good for a rider? Why, as a rider, should you think about trying eventing? Well, there are a few reasons, and basically they're all linked to the 3 different disciplines. Doing a dressage test requires you to put in the training, to put in the hours of the flat work. Most of us eventers actually find us training this discipline the most, where it seems the least exciting. But without the basic foundation work, without that obedience and that ability to move away from your leg and having the flexibility, you can't really expect your horse to be able to jump well, let alone gallop cross country. Now, cross country, obviously galloping over undulating ground requires the rider to really be light in their seat when moving forward and maintain the balance, to look forwards and to look around them and to make sure that they're fully aware of what's going on and being able to communicate that to the horse in time. It also requires the rider to be able to change their seat from that forward light seat, sitting down into a more weighted seat to be able to balance and help the horse sit back and find the space to the fences. This is something that you don't find so much in some of the other disciplines. The show jumping requires the rider to change the mindset from having gone very forward in the cross country to becoming more strategic and more tactical in terms of the way you think. It requires accuracy and it requires a cool head. Putting all of these things together, it becomes really quite evident why, certainly from a technical perspective, eventing is a great option for a rider, as it makes you a better all-round rider.
For me, eventing is really good for your horse and rider. It's great for your riders because it teaches them to be instinctive and to find a natural balance.
Eventing isn't just good for the rider, eventing is also really good for the horse. Working through the 3 disciplines really gives the horse the all-round training that it should have. From the very basics, from the foundation of beginning dressage through to the more advanced movements that give it that flexibility, that grace and that ability to move away from your leg, to the ability to keep balance, to keep rhythm and to act instinctively on the cross-country course. And then the accuracy and the obedience required for show jumping just makes your horse an all-round partner for you to ride.
Nowadays there are a lot of horses going from eventing into Grand Prix show jumping and jumping at really high levels. Greg Broderick's horse that's just recently won a 5-star Grand Prix in the States was a 2-star eventer, because it teaches them to be instinctive on the ground and to have a much better balance.
Of course, there are risks involved in this sport. Horse riding is one of the most dangerous sports in the world, but we do everything possible to ensure rider and horse safety. Of course, it all begins with good training for both horse and rider, but out there on the course we make sure we're wearing the right equipment and that our horses are protected properly. We've also always got professionals on hand to deal with any accidents that may happen as quickly as possible. Both horse and rider's safety always comes first in eventing. Eventing really is for everyone at all levels, whether you're a novice rider and you want to try something new, or you're a little bit more experienced and you think that this might be something that you and your horse want to try. We have entry levels for all types of riders, right from an intro level with just 90cm fences all the way up to 4-star, which I'm sure you've seen on TV is very bold, very big and awesome fun. So why don't you give eventing a try? Doesn't it look like fun? There's so much in it for both horse and rider that it's worth giving it a go. Why don't you pop along to one of your local competitions to ask about how you can start?
We are ready!